it's so interesting that this World Cup, there hasn't been a giant, right? Small teams are taking on. We saw Argentina sweating against Cape Verde. Same thing, them sweating again against Egypt.
The football has been phenomenal, for the most part, with the exception of Argentina.
When we start to question why is VAR like not working the way it should, brother, because humans are in charge of these things.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're back like we never left. Welcome to episode 16 of the Touchline Trio. I go by the name of Mike Hove. And I'm here with my guys, Muqbil Yabarow. Swizz, what's happening, my G? You all right?
What's goody?
Oh, perfect. And I see we have a proud Erling Haaland standing here. Omolemo Kale, what's happening, my G? How you doing,
Big
dog?
Good, bro. Let's go. Let's get it started.
Let's get it.
Gentlemen, let's get it, man. Let's dive into it. Round of 16 just ended, and of course, it's been nothing but fireworks. Let's just start out there. Omo, today I'm going to start with you, brother. What were your thoughts watching the round of 16?
Yeah, man. Straight up goal factory going on, brother. You know those ones where it's like literally every single game was high intensity, high action packed goal delivery central, brother. All right. So, for the most part, I do want to be able to first say this tournament is starting to build up legends, right? And also give flowers to the legends leaving, all right? That's one thing that I kind of noticed about this tournament, where it was like, we're seeing the goal lists here, right? We're seeing the people that have the most goals, right? Mbappe, Messi, Haaland. But it's interesting when you look at those names, right? And the weight they carry for the countries they represent. All right, it starts to kind of hit you different when you see Messi play, right? Coming back from 2-0, right? 2-1,
I ain't gonna
whatever.
lie. I'm watching this World Cup. I even forgot that Messi plays in the MLS. Hey, I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, no, he's been balling, man. He's been balling. He's been going crazy,
I
bro.
ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
but still legend though, right? So
hmm
so my thing is I really like how this tournament is starting to really mold certain legends into really, instead of them being exposed by the tournament, it's starting to really shine the greatness that they have. And then what it looks like for everybody else that they play along with and play against. All right. So that's kind of what I really want to say about this round. Where it's like we're starting to see way better matchups, and then we're gonna start to see what that does for these individual great players and what they do for their countries.
Yeah, I think this round of 16 for me, and it goes back to something that was said on the pod where it was like, it's so interesting that this World Cup, there hasn't been a giant, right? Small teams are taking on. We saw Argentina sweating against Cape Verde. Same thing, them sweating again against Egypt. We're seeing all these teams going down to the last minute, bro. It's like jam action packed, unexpected. The small team is taking on the big team, and we're like, yo, is this happening? And then in the dying minutes, we see why the big team is the big team. You know what I mean? Like it's happened time and time again. Yeah, man. Swizz, talk to me, my guy.
Yeah, broski. I think you guys kind of touched on it. The football has been phenomenal, for the most part, with the exception of Argentina. Be honest with you, and I'm just gonna jump right into it. It at one point, it just starts becoming a hindrance to the tournament as a whole. We're watching this game in real time, and okay, let me backtrack before I jump on the Argentina thing, right? I think a lot of times with VAR in particular, right? I've been very disappointed in VAR
Get rid
calls
of that thing,
this
bro.
right
Get rid of
this
it.
tournament simply because, bro, what's happening is like there's a bias, right, that the larger teams are afforded, that the larger football club countries
Hmm.
are afforded, that the smaller football countries are not, right? So the purpose of VAR should not be that you make the referee relook at every single thing, right? If things don't go according to script. That's not what it's supposed to be, right? The way it's supposed to be is if something looks as though there should be a second look, absolutely. You let them know, I'm advising a second look. And then the ref can go back and forth. Mainly should be used, in my liking, around the box area of the opposition, right? So if something's happening there that looks like should have been a free kick, should have been a PK, potential look during a corner kick or something, go for it. But to me, when I'm watching some of these VAR calls, I'm like, what is going on? Like, if we're using VAR, right, then the ref that's on the pitch should not be there. Just use these guys, these refs that are in the VAR booth. Let these guys just go ahead and kick the ball around, and then put like
Put a
something in the ear,
speaker.
like or a speaker or an AirPod or something inside one of the captain's ears or something to call the plays back, because this is getting ridiculous. The call to me that really made everything absolutely apparent was Egypt's second goal that was disallowed. Right, VAR goes, there's a foul. Absolutely was a foul on Martinez. Was it a slight or a weak foul that could have been, disregarded? Sure. But was it a foul? Sure. Yes, it was. But for that foul to then in Egypt's box or box area, their last third, then to move the ball all the way to the goal of Argentina and the goal to be scored, then VAR decide, because the ref didn't decide, right? VAR said there may have been a potential foul before the play built up. Now ask yourself this question: if that goal doesn't happen and the ball gets dispossessed
They don't call it.
in the midfield, does that call come back? Absolutely not.
Nope.
And if you're saying that it does, it's just not true and honest, right? So to me, that's like, it's BS. And then on top of that, right? Pardon my French. On top of that, Mo Salah gets a similar knock. Looks weak, very weak, gets dispossessed on the other third, and then it causes a goal on the other side.
They let it rock.
Why not look at least if you're gonna say that it's not it, go and do the VAR check, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look like you're actually trying to ref these two teams equally. That just wasn't the case. And it's like, obviously Egypt was up 2-0, but they just look like they feel like they were hard done by some of these decisions. You can't touch Argentina. They're a very physical team, right? They come in with shoulders, dip shoulder, they slide tackle. They give you everything. Nobody calls anything on them. The second that they get touched, especially in the final third, they're getting everything. They're getting ample opportunities for PKs, free kicks around that region, and to me, that just it's very poor. It just doesn't look right for the world champions to have this level of help from teams that they should be really running through. That's it. So I'm interested to see what happens when they end up coming up against a bigger team that really could do something to them. But luckily for them, they get to play Switzerland next. So
Now, mind you guys, for the Argentina and Egypt game, okay, the video assistant referee, right, Jerome Brazard, right, assistant VAR Willie Delajad, right, and offside VAR Hamza El Farik, okay, these are VAR referees, all right. I want everybody to understand something. The VAR referees, right? These people are human as well as the on the field referees, okay? I want us to understand that if we think that these are really mainly robotic or AI decision making referee, nah, these are still humans making these video replays and all these kinds of things, manipulating what was seen in the foul and all these kinds of things. Brother, their time will come, brother. Trust and believe. All right. So when we start to question why is VAR like not working the way it should, brother, because humans are in charge of these things. Okay. So that's why and I'm also noticing another thing. The evolution of the game is also starting to shift a little bit because of VAR. Okay, before VAR, you would sell a foul a little bit differently.
Yep.
Okay, the way you would dribble would be slightly more catered into the naked eye. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, it's starting to develop into something where it's a VAR.
Players just fall. Just
Where there's
you're
a
like, bro.
VAR. There's a VAR component into every decision that's being made, including time wasting tactics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? In the Egypt Argentina game, there were some time wasting things going on, But unfortunately, the referee almost started to give up on VAR and not used it for certain things where you really could have used it on, right? I think it was either the assistant coach for Egypt or the main head coach did the X,
Hmm.
right? He did the X
It was the
that
main
really
coach.
yeah, the main coach, which really symbolizes a moment of racism that needed to be addressed. Okay, the referee shrugged it off, brother. And I'm not sure if it was VAR fatigue that made him do that or if it was something deeper behind it, okay? Brother, VAR is changing a lot about the game. And I don't know, I don't even think I'm ready to handle how it's gonna change the way our goats are going to start to play their game as these things get more advanced.
Yeah. Speaking of VAR, and I want to take it back to the conversation about African teams, right? And not just African teams, but the smaller teams. One thing that, and it kind of touches on what Mark said. One thing I have noticed, there's not a single VAR call that has worked in favor of any of the lower, smaller teams throughout the
Absolutely.
whole tournament. Throughout, it's like it's so shocking and so abysmal. It's like, why are we impartially using it? Does this mean that when Messi fouls, it's a mistake, but when someone fouls him, it's on purpose? Like, it's just so impartial, and it's really bagged me back to that conversation. I'm like, there's so many games where I've watched, narrowing it down to the African teams, where I'm like, that was so unfair. Egypt, of course, Egypt, Argentina, Senegal went through the same thing where you're like, and to a certain perspective, I didn't understand how the game kind of gave in the dying moments, because it's like
Hmm.
at some point you're like, damn it, this ref just ain't working with me, bro. Like, what one, brother? You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, for
Yeah.
me, I found that really unfortunate. So, talk to me about that, man. Like, do you think that the refereeing in this case has been, for lack of a better word, fair towards the smaller teams?
No, it hasn't been, bro. And at the end of the day, man, like we gotta understand, like, this is a business, bro. Like I think sports is a business, and I think, us maybe having grown up, being younger and stuff and not really understanding the dynamics that go into an event of this magnitude, right? When you have the president coming out and saying that he had a conversation with Infantino pertaining to a red card that gets overthrown, right? Article 27 being used mid tournament is absolutely ludicrous, right? It's insane, right? Because then it means like now England just got a red card with Kwanzaa. Does that mean that they can appeal it? Should he be able to play? Like like where do you draw the line, right?
Omar, talk to me. You think they've been fair to the smaller teams?
It's interesting, man. It really is interesting to me because they can hide behind VAR, but the VAR is like the most like interesting part about it to me, bro. Like watching I think it was the England versus Mexico game where I think they from the ball technology to the VAR review, okay? They said that because I forgot, I think it was number 20 on England, right? He tried to head the ball. It pretty much like skims like the hair off of his face or something. And the ball system reacted to it, which then caused it to make it an offside call or something like that, right? Bro, Bro, what? What are we what are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about? And in the review, they said because of the ball technology did that little heart thing,
But it's like,
they
whose
said,
fault is that?
they
Like,
said
Yeah, Portugal. By the way, also, Omar, you're right. Portugal also got that as well against Croatia in the dying minutes when Croatia scored. That was absolutely uncalled for.
it's
Uncalled
just
for.
bro, so that's my thing right there, bro. Like, yeah, it isn't really fair, and Muck already said this is more of like a business, but it's gonna get to a point where like the people might actually like start
mm-hmm.
protesting because of these kinds of things, where it's clear, right? If everyone agrees, then it can be something. But for now, it's just gonna kind of feel like a conspiracy, for now.
I want to talk a little more about the African teams. All of them got knocked out in literally the dying minutes of the game. Every single one of them, from Bafana, who was the first to go out. Every single one of them were knocked out in the last 10 minutes. What I'm really curious about is, does this speak to, you've got some critics who will say, South American, European teams are more superior than African teams. They have the better football tactics, football knowledge, football IQ, if you want to call it that. Do you think that speaks to that African teams just don't have the resilience to ride out the game? Swiss?
No, I don't agree. You can't have two sentiments be true at the same time, which is African teams just aren't good enough to get the job done. And then you have people complaining that France is full of African players, right? So it's got to be one or the other, right? So it's like, how great are these African players on France? Maybe France shouldn't have all African players. Oh, but African players are not supposed to be great. So I think that conversation is dead simply because of the amount of people complaining about France and their level of African quality players. So put that aside. I think more than anything else, this is a huge learning curve for these African teams. To me, there's certain ones that obviously were just like it felt like lightning struck twice in the most randomest of places. Like for
Mm-hmm.
me, Senegal, 85th minute, that one was like ludicrous. It was just a complete implosion, and people are trying to
Yeah.
blame their head coach Papa Tiao. I don't even blame him because any normal situation, I'm taking off my key guys with 5 minutes left in the game with a 2-0 lead, and we should be able to ride the game out, right? So I can't blame him for that. Any normal manager would make that decision, right? Like if he keeps Sadio Mane on there and the same thing still happens, the conversation is still the same thing. So like, I don't really blame him for that. I just think that this tournament, obviously, certain things were going against not only African teams but some of these smaller country nations or whatever, and these things all played into the mental of these players going late into the games. The games are already exhausting. By the time you're getting to the 85th to 90th minute, it's like I'm so tired and I'm not getting any calls my way. I don't know what to do. Lapse of one little moment and then that traction comes in and then obviously they get steamrolled. But I think kudos to the African teams, man. They did really well.
I remember almost said something that I laughed at. The most dangerous thing to do in any game is to defend a 2-0 lead.
Legendary quote. Legend, absolutely
And
legend.
every
Almost
game
2-0.
that I've
Every
seen
time I see
teams
2-0,
go
I'm like,
down.
what? I'm like, I said Omo has ruined the 2-0 for me. In my mind, it used to be once we're up 2-0, cruise control. Come to find out
No,
2-0 is so hard, bro. I didn't know that.
it was so
Oh
bad.
my
When I was
goodness.
watching Egypt, at the back of my head, I kept thinking, yo, if these guys concede one, it's going to shake. By the time I saw Messi score, I was like, oh my God. By the time I saw the second, I was like, oh, oh my.
No,
But
crazy.
talk to me, man. Your quote has come to bite every African team up the like, bro. Talk to me, my G.
I mean, bro, I ain't gonna lie, Mike, you're funny, bro. But I learned that from playing soccer, like youth soccer, at a really young age, bro. The first time I heard that, I was like looking at the coach like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life, bro. And bro, it ended up always, for the most part, like 90% of the time, being right facts, bro. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So that's like the nature of the game sometimes, you know? Like sometimes momentum is something that humans innately can feel and develop from within each other, from amongst each other, you know? So it's interesting seeing that play out, bro, on the highest level as well, bro. Like a lot of these memes that we see is like, oh, African teams, bro, like we just can't finish the game. We're always so close, but we can't last the 90 minutes. It's like, bro, I wouldn't necessarily say that because that's part of the game, bro. Like you, especially with Argentina, bro. You're playing against the top of the top, bro. You think that rule doesn't apply to world class players like Messi? You know
Yo,
what
Hmm.
I mean?
Messi on the wing too?
It
Crazy.
Dangerous.
gets
Smoking
it
it.
gets
Crazy.
spooky.
Bro,
Smoking
at
it.
30 at 39?
Smoking
Oh,
it.
he was looking insane. To be honest with you, Lutaro should have scored that one, right?
Yep.
Off the
Right.
like that was crazy. Like I give it to that little guy. That little guy crazy.
Smoking it. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not a Messi fan, but this World Cup,
Neither am
the
I.
boy
No,
is
he's coming. He's
whoo
coming. No, I give it to him, bro. He has really tough. Like mentally, he's tough mentally. Cause bro,
resilient.
he missed that PK. Usually, you
That's the
miss the
thing.
PK. Yo, you miss the
Momentum
PK.
should be gone.
You
No,
go into a shell. He missed the
no.
PK and said, "Calma, I'll get it back in blood."
He said, I
He
got
came
this. I
and got
got
it
this.
back, bro. And the goal he scored was class. That goal was
Crazy work.
off a half volley was crazy. I'm sitting here watching. I'm like, this guy can't. Surely he can't. And then he just smacks it. I'm like, golly, this guy's good. This guy's good. He plays in the
Way
MLS.
too
This guy.
good. Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, really watching him this World Cup, I genuinely forgot. I was like, yo.
You know
I was
why?
like,
Because MLS lets him. He could chill all season for real. He was chilling. He came to now. Now
bro.
it's time to play. He's been playing
Mm-mm,
well though for the
mm-mm.
tournament. I'll say that he's been playing well.
Gentlemen, before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to remember the legends that we're bidding farewell to. So just a couple of names, man. And I say this, and I'm even getting goosebumps just saying this. Like, I can't believe I'll never get to watch them play in the World Cup again. Some of them
Mm,
might be their last time wearing national team colors anyway.
yeah,
So
yeah.
just a couple of names that I could think of, and please do add if you can think of any. Cristiano Ronaldo, sad, sad, never won a World Cup, and that's how he's going out to the point where, and forgive me, I love Cristiano, but for him to turn around and say, "Yo, the Euros are as good as the World Cup," I say, brother, it's okay, it's all right. It pains a little bit, but
That's
the
a bit tough.
Euros
It's
are
a
not
bit
the
tough.
World Cup, brother.
No, no, no.
Neymar Jr. Never ever
Tough.
seeing him well, brother.
That's a tough one.
Casemiro played in
Tough.
what 3, 4 World Cups, still
Yeah,
couldn't get the job done. Mo Salah took his team to the
tough one.
furthest that they could go, but boy,
Legend,
just
legend.
legend of the game.
Hmm.
Luka Modric, this is it.
Hmm.
Goodbye,
Yeah.
midfield genius. Manuel Neuer, uh,
Hmm.
greatest of all time in the post.
Hmm.
This is the last, and of course, we keep talking about this little guy, Lionel
Yeah.
Messi. This will be his last, guaranteed. I
You think
cannot
so?
believe that
I
this
think Mike.
general.
This hot take, or I don't even think it's a hot take.
He's not doing it.
I
He's
think
not doing
Messi.
it.
I think if Messi, listen to me. I think if Messi wins, he goes out on a high and he just goes into the sunset back to back
You think
champs.
if he
And
loses,
like,
he stays?
if he loses, bro, I think he try to run it back because, bro, you gotta understand. He just turned 39, right? The level at which he's playing at, he could play another couple years for real. And he's not gonna be like he doesn't have to be the main guy. The thing about Argentina is they play for him. They make the game easy for him. Now I don't know if he'll still have this amount of legs in the next 4 years, but if he's still, playing Inter Miami ball and chilling, he gonna be all right. He's not really injury prone as well, so it's something to think about. But the way it's getting lined up is for him to be able to get this joint back and win back to back, and then he's
And
into
that's
the
it. And
sunset.
call it.
After that, it's wraps. Yeah, yeah. After that, there's
Sad,
there's no
sad.
conversation about anybody after that. He gets his second one, wrap it up.
Almost talk to me, man. The names that just went through, I get goosebumps just thinking about. I cannot believe I'll never see Chris. In fact, this might be the last go around. I won't be surprised if Cristiano retires from football next year.
Yeah, nah. I mean, the names clearly. I mean, if you really just look at since 2008, bro, the domination of Messi and Ronaldo has eclipsed the entire world of football fandom. and the actual playing of football. You know, we hear testimonies of people playing against Messi. Yo, Messi's not even real, blah 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 blah, right? And you hear Ronaldo's stories like, yo, he doesn't have any fun. He only works out. He does this and that. Ronaldo was this. Ronaldo was a complainer. He was this, blah blah blah. It's like, bro, these guys have clearly done something to football fans and the people who love football. And we don't really know what that is yet, but seeing them go definitely does hit different, bro. I mean, you mentioned Mohamed Salah, you mentioned a couple of it's cool, but Messi, Ronaldo, brother, it hits way too different, bro. Way too different. So,
Yo,
So it's
Mbappe, and Braut.
Mbappe Haaland. Yeah,
It's the new, like, they try to say that these two couldn't do that Messi Ronaldo thing, but
they can.
from the World Cup standpoint, these two are carrying their countries on their back,
Hmm.
and they are long due for a potential clash if all works out. Imagine a World Cup,
yeah.
final of, like, Norway versus France, bro. Braut
Before we
versus.
even go there, I'm excited to see Brout versus Harry Kane, brother.
Oh, for
What?
sure, bro. If Braut gets through Harry Kane and English
Oh,
squad,
oh my
then that
god,
means that, bro. Then him and Argentina clash up. Oh
that's gonna be a
my
good
God,
one.
this guy he's already a legend. You know the thing I like about Braut, quickly, what he been doing in post games and stuff. He just diminishes expectations so that whatever
He's
ends
such
up
a
happening is calma. He says, "Listen, man.
yeah.
Last time we was in the World Cups 28 years ago, I'm 25, bro. This is already a big plus for us." He said, "Brazil, they're a big nation. They're supposed to be in the quarters and the semis for real. We're not supposed to be here. We weren't supposed to win." So already he just manages expectations
Even
with the little
even the
lighthearted joy, banter, funny guy.
even the one way they were talking about France, and he was like, "What are you talking about? Of course France are gonna
They're
win.
supposed to beat us. They're gonna beat us.
They're gonna win the World Cup." I was
It's
like, "Is
calm.
this
It's
guy
cool.
trolling or?"
Bro, he's a troll. Bro, it's not serious. You seen the clip of him and Vinny singing together, the
Yeah,
meme?
where he
He
tapped him
told
out and
he
said, "My
told he told he
homie."
told Vinny, he said, "We need to recreate this." The guy's not serious.
Yeah,
The guy's not serious. He's having fun. To be honest, he's doing what a 25-year-old
should
that
be doing.
has all the money in the world, but is just,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, is still a young guy, right? Having fun, right? Representing his country, but he's genuinely having fun. I rate it, bro. I
Hmm.
rate it.
Hmm.
And I don't really
You
even
know,
like Holland for real. You know what I'm saying? but I gotta
that's
be honest. You gotta keep it a stack. The guy is like on a level of what he's doing for his first World Cup. 7 goals?
bro, bro.
7 goals? Unreal.
But
Unreal.
can I
Brout.
can I can I tell you what's funny? So is I don't know
Yeah.
if Omo can relate, but I realize how old we are watching this
Yeah.
World Cup.
Oh
Because
yeah.
when I was watching Cristiano and Messi and going, "This is the last round," I was like, "Damn." Back forward, I remember feeling this way when Zidane and them were playing their last World Cup. I'm like, how am I going through this again,
How did we get here twice?
bro?
Twice.
And then I was
Crazy.
like, we're about to see Brout. It's going to be the Brout, Mbappe, Lamine Yamal crop. And I was like, please, I cannot be the one who's going to be there when they retire going, what the hell again? I was like,
Bro.
yo, but it's crazy work. But yeah, jokes aside about Brout, it's the way that he's carried this. Uh, he's treated this like it's not even his first go around, bro. Like it's been
Hmm.
so crazy. You would
Yeah.
think he was like, at least you see when I see a player like Mbappe, I'm like, okay, you've been at this a couple of times. This is not your first go around. I can see
Right.
why you're the guy carrying the team.
Right.
Bro, it's so effortless. I
Yeah.
didn't even think of the fact that the last time Norway was at the World Cup was 1998. The way that these guys are playing, bro. I
Before
was
my
like,
man's was
yo,
even born.
Mans wasn't even born, bro. I was like, yo, shout
Crazy.
out, shout out. I don't want to lie. I agree with you. I do not like, and let me say this. I don't like Erling Haaland. I'm starting to like Brout. All right.
Yeah, yeah, no, no. Brout,
Maybe that will
Brout's,
make me
Brout's a
feel
cool
better.
guy. Brout's a cool guy. Yeah.
But guys, I think we can wrap up the conversation here, man. It's been fun. I look forward to having this chat again when we're through to the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in right now, you're tuning in to episode 16 of the
Bah,
Touchline
bah,
Trio. I
bah.
go by the name of Mike Hove. I was here with my guys Omolemo Kale and, of course, Muqbil Yabarow. For those who are looking to catch up with us, we're there on Instagram at Touchline Trio Podcast. We're there on YouTube at Touchline Trio Podcast. And of course, if you're trying to send us an email at touchlinetriopodcast@gmail.com. Let's meet same time, same place next week. Peace.
Peace.